This is King Noble, Black Supremacy. With this particular video, I want to talk about keeping your inner television on one channel. King Noble, Black Supremacy. Why do I say this? Many of the years that have passed, a lot of our teachers have come and told us to turn off our televisions. Some of them have said that television is tell lies to your vision. Somewhat mind control. Programming. So they said, cut these televisions off. What we fail to realize is that we have a TV going on inside of us as well. We have an internal television that has infinite channels on it. Infinite channels that you could watch. There's no limit. If you was concerned about turning the television outside of you off, then you really need to concern yourself with dealing with the television inside of you. A lot of enlightened teachers and beings have used meditation to be your remote control. For your inner television. And sometimes you've had spiritual guides that have been your TV guides, trying to decode these dreams and show you what they mean and help you navigate through the dream world. But your inner television is important because it's constantly telling you a vision too of something. And when you turn the TV outside of you, a lot of times the one inside of you starts playing. It's enough shows in there, enough episodes, enough reruns. And what's even deeper, the meaning or the main point of what those shows were trying to imprint on your consciousness are all inside of your mind. You got to turn that off. All these narratives and dramas and perceptions, all these ways of looking at the world, understanding situations, interpreting your own reality. On that inner television, you got to turn that off. You got to put the channel on Black Supremacy. So that's many people's problem. Their internal television is playing horror movies for them. They got them living in fear. For some, they just on a romance channel. They can't get off of it and see nothing else. Some of them locked on the sci-fi channel, porn channels, cooking channels. You're on a lot of channels in your inner TV, locked on different channels. And the whole thing, the whole reason for a channel, it's simply just really to give you something to entertain. That's why it's called entertainment. It's not truth. People talking about going within themselves to find the truth. The truth is not within you. You are the truth. The truth is the nature of your existence. But within your mind, there is a lot to entertain. Infinitely. Room for infinite imagination. There's no limit to thinking, hypothesizing, theorizing, fathoming. There's no limit, to the point where some have even become lost. And they've become TV junkies for the internal TV, where they just at the edge of their seat in their own mind of their own internal television, waiting for the next episode. You got to put your internal TV channel, put your internal TV on one channel, Black Supremacy, and watch how that will infect and impact your life. The romance channel, the fight channel, the cooking channel, all of these channels, put your life on one channel. The channel that is going to really make the most of a difference. That will be the most relevant, the most impactful. Because otherwise, many of you just flipping through the stations. Just flipping through the stations. So you're not really getting anything from the TV, your internal television. And you watch YouTube like you go through your internal mind, and you watch external television and cable the same way you go through your internal mind. You just flip through the stations, flipping and flipping and flipping and flipping and flipping. You really don't watch anything. You just entertain a lot of ideas, entertain possibilities, kind of ponder, kind of pontificate, never really landing on nothing, never really finding that foundation, never really finding that ground. And that's what the conscious community has become. It's a whole bunch of channels. And a whole bunch of people flipping through a whole bunch of channels. Of people that's flipping through a whole bunch of channels within their internal TV. They ain't landed on nothing. They're not watching no particular station. They don't take anything they watch serious. They can't learn from it. So they really won't be impacted by it. And there really will not be any change. And we can't see the good of anything that they may or may not have. You see, some people can watch TV and actually learn stuff. And incorporate stuff and say, wow, whoa, I'm going to try that. And some people, it's just nothing but entertainment. Entertaining everything but holding nothing. Becoming nothing. They can't apply it to their life. It's not applicable. How do you just flick through all of the stations and just keep flicking and flicking? How do you apply that to your life? Flicking through stations. You got to take something serious. You got to stay on a channel long enough to learn something, to be impacted, to be empowered, to be changed. Because through the channels, you're channeling energy. That's why they call cable Comcast. Because they're casting something. If you're going to be on a channel, you need to be channeling something that's going to benefit you. But you got to stay on that channel a long time. And whether you watch TV internally or externally, you're the self-programmer. Because you're the one that's intentionally determining what you choose to watch or ingest or entertain or entertain. And if you're just flicking through channels, you're not self-programming. Self-program your internal and external self to manifest the reality that you want to create in your life. To generate the type of world and the type of experiences that are reflective of who you are. Program yourself. But you got to stay on the right channel. I'm telling people, stay on one channel. King Noble Black Supremacy. They say, well, you know, that sounds like mind control. Well, I said this before. You have to control your mind, because if you don't, it's infinite and eternal and all over the place. And then you start misfiring. You have experiences that you don't understand. Stuff that don't make sense. It doesn't seem synchronistic. Doesn't seem like a coincidence. You have no meaning or no understanding to why the things are happening in your life, because you don't control your mind. You don't control what's going on inside of your mind, because you're just flicking through channels internally. The people who have been teaching meditation have said, hey, look, turn your damn internal television off. Just turn it off. Don't pay attention to the noise. It's just noise. The TV's going on in your mind. Don't watch it. Don't look at it. I'm telling you, put that on one channel for black people today. Put your internal TV on one channel. Black Supremacy. Black Divinity. Black Empowerment. Forget all these other channels. These reality shows, these half-wise reality shows. This drama. This black self-hate. This mind shot all the way off into space. The Sci-Fi Channel. Put your mind on one channel and keep watching that program and see what happens to you. Some programs will run you out of your seat, but you got to watch them from beginning to end. You have to really sit there and really pay attention to that program. And until you decide of what channel you're going to land on, your internal TV is still going to give you everything. Everything's still going to be there. And it could be overwhelming. And now you got to make sense of trying to watch 40 channels at the same time and connect all the information and all that and make it applicable. Put your internal TV on one channel. King Noble Black Supremacy. Join my website, www.kingnobleuncensored.com. Donate and don't hate.